Asking us questions about our trip to Germany and Switzerland. So we are here to share with you guys kind of like our itinerary and add in like vlog clips that we took during the trip. Please do support us. Subscribe, like it, and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss an upload. Okay, so a few things. We wanted to spend quite a lot of time in the city of Munich, like the Munich city centre itself. It wasn't a very good choice. In general, the Munich city centre has nothing much. So the first thing you have to do there is actually to go and convert
vaccination certificate to
Singapore vaccination certificate to
the EU
vaccination certificate.
Why she didn't want to stay in Munich was because you don't have to wear a mask when you're outdoors, but when you're indoors you have to wear a mask. And the FFP2 mask is like terrible.
Very uncomfortable.
Like,
so for Germany, you have to use the FFP2 mask.
It's actually really damn sian because I have to wear a mask and the mask is damn uncomfortable because it keeps like poking the bottom of your face and you can hardly breathe. And then when you go out, right, you're like, oh, you can take out mask, but you can't because your beanie is blocking the mask. And if you don't wear a beanie, your ears hurt like shit. So, oh my.
My ears are really quite out. But then like with the mask, right, it's like, oh my god, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, even I wear also wear pain.
Yeah, that's basically why we didn't want to stay in the city centre for so long. Initial plan, right, was that we weren't even going to Switzerland.
Yes, after the first day, she was like, should we go somewhere else? So I had to change the car rental booking, I had to cancel the Airbnbs for the last 5 days and had to book new Airbnbs.
The good thing about using Airbnb is that usually you can see the cancellation policy and most of them allow cancellation even up to like the day before.
Because of the way I planned the trip, we kind of like started in Munich.
Let's say this is South Germany, then we started in Munich, and then we went all the way to the Black Forest, and then we go towards the east of Germany, like the east end of Germany to the
Berschtesgaden.
But then Switzerland is like here, so I had to drive all the way to Black Forest and down, so there's like an extra 8-hour drive.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, so if we were to plan Switzerland within our trip from the very start, the itinerary will be
it will be like
different
from here, then like that turn.
Just take note that the way our itinerary flowed, right, was not ideal.
We just came out of the airport and we're gonna take a bus. This luggage life is not for me.
Day 1, we actually touched down and like I said, we spent 3 hours walking around the Munich city centre trying to do the Kubitzer, and then we went to eat at Marienplatz, right? So there's this restaurant
called Rachhaus.
Rachhaus.
Schnitzel was good.
Yeah, the schnitzel was actually really good.
And that's the best meal we had in Germany.
Yeah.
And it went downhill after that.
Yeah. So like a thing about the Germany food is that it's very salty, like I'm not even kidding. Then after that, we just walked around the city centre that day and went shopping for a bit. I got a new furry hat and a furry bag.
Yeah, she bought a lot of random things.
And then we're just walking around.
We found the virtual line market or something.
Yeah, so they had a lot of like random food and like Christmas tree and
they sell like Christmas
trinkets.
trees and like sausage and
then we went shopping. We went to Urban Outfitters, we went to H&M, all the like usual shopping places lah. So we ended the first day quite early because we were quite tired and it was like super duper cold somehow. The city centre was damn full. Also because we went during winter, which is like around the December period, right? The day ends very early, so usually we will just like head back home once it's dark lah. Which is at like 4 plus.
So I was on the sofa, I was napping. I was like, okay, wake me up at 5.
I tried.
Okay, then I woke up at like 5-ish. Then after that, Isaac was like, wake me up at 5:30. Then I'm like, okay. Then we both slept all the way. And now it's 4:50 a.m.
So the next day,
in the morning we went to the English garden to make up for lost time.
We didn't video our breakfast, but we had breakfast just now. And then we took a tram over. And now Isaac's setting up the tripod so we can take a photo.
it was super cold though, like it was
We were
really cold.
freezing. I was like,
My fingers are getting frozen too.
And then we went to Munich residence, which is at the other side of the English garden.
Yeah, and the Munich residence is actually like super beautiful. But literally when we walked in, right, I think there were only a total of 5 of us. So the whole place was super empty and we loved it because like can take nice pictures. Then we went to eat this place.
We went back to the virtual market.
Yeah. And then we found like this
soup
place.
restaurant.
Yeah.
This was quite good also actually.
Yeah. The soup was good. We ordered like beef goulash and like something else. And then we just continued walking around.
Then we were
back at Marienplatz again.
Marienplatz, yeah.
Oh, and then we went
to the Nymphenburg Castle, which is I think like 20 minutes outside of the Munich city center. Yeah, we took a bus.
I think honestly outside was very nice. That day the weather was pretty good. Even though it was still cold, but the weather was like a little bit sunny lah. So we just walked around the garden and like just outside. We went home to like rest around. And then we went to eat dinner at Augustiner Keller. It's like a very typical German restaurant lah. My friend Sarah actually recommended it. So we ordered like
pork knuckle and it's a platter with like
the potato dumpling. It's actually not
bad. Pork knuckle was quite nice, a bit salty. Then she drank I think a Rattler or something.
Yeah, I usually don't drink in general because I don't like the taste of alcohol, but this Rattler was not bad. It was quite refreshing.
Yeah, because it's 0.8% or something.
The bread pudding, this pudding thing, I don't know what it's called.
Quite nice, right?
It was not bad, but it was quite a lot lah. Yeah, their portions in general quite big.
After that, we drove from Munich to Black Forest.
And we were driving a lot on the Autobahn, which is Isaac's favorite thing
ever. So I drove
ever.
from Munich to Black Forest. I think that was like 4 hours. And then
we went all the way up to like 200 km per hour. It's damn scary. But anyway, we are gonna insert a clip of Isaac raging on the Autobahn because he's so impatient with the other drivers on the road.
Driving too slow. It's Autobahn, eh? Why are you driving so slow? Wow, go liao. The weather was so good when we drove to Black Forest, but when we were there, it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it became like cloudy.
We spent like 3-4 days there.
And that was where we got our very nice Airbnb. So we got like the balcony with the very nice like mountain views and stuff like that. Actually, we spent a lot of time in the Airbnb for Black Forest.
Yeah.
And then the next day, we actually drove around Black Forest. It was just like, okay, you know, we're just gonna drive
random places. It's quite nice. I think they call it Black Forest, I think because of like how close the trees are to each other. So it's really quite dark. We didn't do a lot of things there.
So we wanted to go to the waterfall,
which is the Triberg waterfall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then we went to this entrance that was closed because the roads were super slippery.
And then I closed, then I walked a bit, then
we started sleeping around. Then we're like, oh, okay, never mind.
I fell so many times.
Yeah. Then we just went back to our Airbnb and continued resting. So Christmas Eve everything was closed down, which is why we had nothing much to do. So we went back, waited for our dinner. So the restaurant was quite interesting. Like they had to wait for everyone before they can start serving the meals.
The whole meal was like 3.5 hours.
Honestly, after that I was like, European dining is not for me, man. It's so slow, you know, like Isaac really didn't like the meal, but I think it's like a quiet taste lah. I would say it's not bad, but I wouldn't say it's like the best I've tasted. Yeah. And then the next day, we went to the Roderbahn. A lot of people were asking me where this is. It's actually quite common in Germany. Actually even Switzerland I think have. Probably around Europe lah. It's a very cool ride. You should go and try it. It's not scary at all. You can control like the speed and stuff like that.
It's a kid thing, I feel.
Yeah, but it's quite fun.
So on the day, I mean, because it was like Christmas, but there was nothing much open.
So we went to Lake TTC, which
is very beautiful. Nice. Yeah, it's very beautiful. But the whole world was there because I guess that's what Germans do when it's Christmas.
And
and there were like a lot of skiers. Yeah, a lot of people were skiing.
It was just like a very scenic like drive also. So after TTC, we decided to go to this
Ravenna Bridge.
So this was very interesting because we saw the bridge, right? Then we're like, oh, okay. So we saw like 2 old people and 1 young man going for a hike. Then we're like, hey, what's this road? So we were walking that side. Then after we were thinking where to go out. Then they went in front. Then we were like, okay, let's go. So we walk. And then we found this fountain. We were walking up. But we never realized how slippery the road was going to be.
I guess we realized. But we just didn't care. We just walked. We were like, how? Then it's like, just go on. Then we just walk. And then we went inside in the middle of the forest. And, oh, it's very nice. Then we walk.
Oh yeah, we didn't care.
Yeah,
we were walking on the slippery road. And then it came the time for us to get down.
2-3 steps later, I fell. Literally sleep on my bum. Yeah.
And then I was like,
just
oh,
started laughing. And then
And then I took the next step and I fell also on my bum. I was like, wow, freaking pain, you know. I just like...
We just slid down, right?
I slid down. He tried to walk. He was like, it's fine. Then I'm like, no, it's not fine. Then I just like go
She
on
was
my
wearing
bum.
like jeans. So the whole jeans was like
damn
black.
dirty.
Yeah.
Okay, next day.
Then on Boxing Day, where did we go? We went back to the Roderbahn because she was like, can we go to the Roderbahn?
Yeah,
so we went back to the Roderbahn. Yeah.
So we went to this, remember this hike?
Yeah.
Some hike, we will put in the name lah, but this hike was quite nice and we went all the way to the top.
We took a long way.
And then we went to Wasserfall.
Yeah, we went to Triberg Falls after that to hike. And it was quite nice, and then we saw
a lot of people, very crowded.
Yeah, we saw random people like sliding, so we also sliding on the ice.
Yeah, on the way
That's
down.
quite funny.
Then we went back to TTC again.
Yeah, then
Because TTC nice.
Yeah, we went back to TTC.
But it started raining lah. You guys can see the rain in the video.
Yeah. And then on the next day when we were supposed to leave Black Forest,
We had a very
Fussen,
nice weather, like nice sunset,
it was
nice
pretty
morning
beautiful.
sun, like wow.
Yeah, and that whole drive to Fussen was like
Super
so beautiful.
And it was very scary because on the road, right, we almost got into an accident because
Oh yeah.
the roads were really icy and very slippery. And we actually took a little mini detour to Switzerland to see a waterfall.
Yeah, but then there was nothing to see
There was nothing to
because
see.
it was
so
super
foggy.
foggy.
So the whole of that day, right, we actually spent most of it driving lah. Because we were going Fussen, yeah.
Yeah, this place is called Lindau. It's a lake city, which is very, very beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
very nice,
really love Lindau.
There's like a lighthouse and like this like random house in the middle also. And then we drove and drove and drove.
To Fussen, which is where Neuschwanstein castle is.
Oh yes! Okay, then the next day we actually went to the
Neuschwanstein castle.
So when we went there, right, in order to go to Neuschwanstein castle, we had to take an ERT test which is administered by them. So we had to like queue for it and then wait for the results. In total took 2 hours. Then when we finally got it right, it was a hike up.
Yeah.
It was like a 30-minute hike up, and it was tiring and not very worth it because there's nothing much to see on the way. Maybe it's better to just take the horse carriage up.
The tour itself was like only 20 plus 30 minutes.
But I mean the inside we couldn't film anything at all, so we can't show you.
Yeah.
But it was quite interesting lah to like see the
But I think the
whole
outside
tour.
was more interesting.
We actually wanted to go to this viewpoint that is
Yeah.
actually only open in summer, but we decided to just go past the restricted pole.
Yeah.
And we just went in.
From Neuschwanstein itself, I was looking down. Hey, we can walk through via
Yeah,
that
like
path.
people are walking there, we can walk there.
Yeah.
Then I was like, huh. Then we went in, right?
Oh,
Wow, it's a
it's
dream,
damn
man. The view
nice.
was so nice.
Damn!
We were there for like I think almost
1 hour, I
plus.
think.
And the next day we went to
The Pilgrimage Church of V's or Y's. Yeah, it's a UNESCO heritage site.
and the outside looks very underwhelming. Like
Yeah.
legit, like when I went there, I was like, huh, this is just. Then we saw the time, it's open lah. So we like, okay, never mind, we just go in. So we just pushed in the door, and it was completely empty. There was nobody. So we went in, then we just see, wow, it's super duper nice.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
aesthetics.
beautiful.
Woo.
And then we went to Zugspitze, right? Which is the highest mountain in Germany, but they were closed.
Not closed,
They
full.
were
Fully
full.
booked.
So a lot of the attractions you kind of need to book in advance.
Yeah.
This is
The
Lake
Lake-
Eibsee,
Lake Eibsee.
beside Zugspitze. I think because it rained, that's why
It's
not
very
as
dark.
nice.
I really wanted to see Lake Eibsee because I saw like Instagram photos and stuff like that. But on the day that we went, I feel like it was quite underwhelming lah. We are on to the next day. We decided to go to like this town to just
Yeah.
walk around. But honestly, the town is very nice. Like
Yeah.
the houses were very cute. They have very nice like.
Yes, it's a heritage town called Mittenwald.
Yeah, like a lot of art.
And then we walked past this street which like, wow, so crowded, you know, like quite nice. So I saw this Italian restaurant, they looked quite promising, so we went in, and then we ate, and they served us this like super big French onion soup.
Yeah. Okay. So I have to say that that's like I think probably one of the worst meals that we had.
I felt like my kidneys were hurting.
Really, it was really so salty. Like then after that, right, the pasta came. Mine was super bland. So what I did, right, was to put the onion soup on my pasta, and then it tasted just right. From that day onwards,
She
I was
gave
like,
up on German food.
I'm not
The
gonna
food
eat
in Germany.
any more Germany restaurants.
Oh, and the portions were so big.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
huge.
Yeah, we drove to I think Berschtesgaden. Border control guy like laughed at me when he asked me where I came from. I said Berschtesgaden.
Then he's like,
she's like, what?
then we like, oh yeah. Then he, then he was like, okay.
We stayed in this Airbnb. It's very nice, very no frills, but wow,
The view
views
was
were
super
like,
nice. And it comes with like breakfast provided.
Yeah.
From there we took a boat
to like Munich Sea and the Church of Saint Bartholomew.
yes.
Bartholomew!
But that day was like
It was kind of
really
gloomy and raining. Really, the Bartholomew is like a Pulau Ubin kind of feeling because there's no way to go to that church if you don't take the ferry.
yeah, and okay, honestly the ferry was so slow.
It was
it's
slow because they said it's a kind of like heritage
Yeah,
site.
so they can't use petrol or
Yeah, they
something.
can't use like motor.
Yeah, so we just hiked a little bit and then we got a
Crepe,
crepe,
I don't know.
crepe.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be there for like 1 hour or 1.5 hours, so we paid for like 1.5 hour parking. And in the end, we spent half a day there. And then the sky was so beautiful the next morning.
Yeah, oh my god, next
It
morning,
was-
sunrise. Wow, it was so
So
beautiful.
the thing about Berschtesgaden is that it was actually Hitler's HQ during World War II, but actually all the things for all this World War II stuff are only open in summer. We just went there to chill lah.
But anyway, it was worth it because it was
Sunrise
so
was so beautiful.
nice.
Yeah.
Spent 2 nights in Berschtesgaden.
Then the next day was when we were supposed to go back to Munich, but then because of this girl, we went to Switzerland.
And the weather that day was super good.
So from Berschtesgaden, we drove all the way to Schilthorn, which was like a 6-hour drive I think, and we reached there quite nice. The raclette was so amazing.
The raclette was very nice.
So then we went from Schilthorn to Fussen where we stayed for a night.
So we thought that Lucerne was going to have New Year's fireworks because that was the 1st
Yes,
December already.
and I chose Lucerne to stop because on the day that I booked it, Lucerne was the only city that has like New Year's Eve fireworks. But they didn't.
We just booked the
Yeah,
Ibis, right?
just like Ibis.
And then we went to eat at the Ernesto
Ristorante, which is
for
beside the
Italian food. Yeah, it was actually quite good.
That's
Like,
quite good, yeah.
So we went back to sleep very early because we realized that there weren't going to be any fireworks. But they had those like own self-shoot kind of fireworks.
Yeah.
So I caught a little bit of it but it's not like much also. So the next day we actually just walked around Switzerland.
Around Lucerne, we got
coffee.
Starbucks, and then we drove to Interlaken where we planned to spend most of our time in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Because that's where, I think in the northern part of Switzerland, that's where we have all the lakes and all the mountains, and Jungfrau is there. On the day we drove there, actually it only took like 1-2 hours drive. So we went to Schilthorn, which is actually quite good. For 2 person it's like $100 cheaper. Wow, it was beautiful blue skies. But we had to take like 3 or 4 cable car rides.
And then we went to the rotating restaurant thingy.
Yeah, but we didn't get the rotating seats.
We weren't rotating.
So we were watching people rotate.
Yeah. But it's okay, the food was not bad. Oh, expensive lah, very
It's expensive but not too bad.
Not too bad,
It's
yeah.
not bad.
So then we were like, okay, so it was time to go down already during sunset lah. And I tell you, the sunset was
Oh my god.
beautiful.
That was one of the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was really super pretty. When we were on the way down, it started becoming dark already. By the time we reached the bottom, we had to walk like a 15-minute walk.
To our car, because the car park was full when we went.
Okay, so we walked to our car. Then she was like, wow, the stars very nice.
So we shot like
Star photos.
photos.
It was beautiful.
It was very nice. It was beautiful.
Yeah, so we got to our next Airbnb, which is
Beside Lake Greens.
yeah, like literally we were right in front of
Yeah.
Lake Greens. It was so nice.
This Airbnb was like 180 Sing per night.
Per
Okay,
day.
for Switzerland.
Yeah, so like we had a very nice sunrise the first day,
Yeah.
and then like you can see the views it's just super pretty and everything. Then on that day we decided to go to
First. But how they pronounce is fierce.
okay,
Like-
so I have to say that this is my favorite
Yeah, it's
day.
our favorite day
Yeah,
of
of the
whole
entire
trip.
trip.
And honestly, we didn't know what fierce was.
Yeah.
We just like, okay, there's this like cable car that's kind of cheaper than the rest.
Yeah.
We want to go. We bought, I think it was like 50 francs per person.
Yeah, that had the
which include
activities.
like 1 or 2
Yeah.
activities. So when we went up, we decided to just take the sled thing, huh?
It was the best decision of all.
Yeah. The first slope that we took was like 70 degrees down or something.
Yeah, then when Isaac went down, right, the more you know had
I was like positively scared, you know. I was like, ah! Then someone caught me and no one was hurt until she came down. When I turned around, I wanted to say, wait, you know, no go.
You did, but I didn't know how to go slow.
Yeah, because she already went down the
Yeah.
sled. Then I was like, oh my god.
But then my leg already hit
Hit my sled.
Then I had
Yeah,
like
had a
a
huge
huge bruise
bruise.
like here. But we just continued. So after that we went down one cable car station, right? Then it was this ride thing.
Then we decided to go down one more cable car.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, I give up. Then I just got off my sled and then I started pushing it, but it just like went in front. Then I was just like, oh.
She lost her sled and she fell flat on her face.
This is right there, and I'm really far away.
Okay, but anyway, so after the whole sledding experience, we actually found this like resting chair, so we're just
Yeah,
like
they
chilling.
were just chilling.
But anyway,
Doing
sledding,
things.
right? If you guys want to like do it, right, it's very fun lah, but just have to learn how to
Yeah,
do it.
it's quite hard actually. It's quite hard.
If you lean back, you go faster, and in order
If
to
you learn right, you
You
go
go
left.
left.
And then we went to eat fondue.
fondue.
Yeah.
Honestly, that meal was nice.
This was at Tavern.
Then the next day, we just spent it walking around
Interlaken,
town.
yeah. So we were at Lake Thun and then we saw this like very interesting castle. We just walked
Then
in.
there were like birds and like animals, random animals, but it was just a generally very nice place. It's like
Yeah.
a garden. So we went to Lake Greens, like the actual like lookout point lah, not
Where
just
this
our Airbnb.
Lake Greens is, I think, a scene in
Crash
the
landing on
crash
you.
landing on you. Yeah, it's very nice. And then after that, we went home
So we moved out of Switzerland already.
to rush back to Germany because the factory outlet is like 1 hour drive from the airport. So I just planned it to go to the outlet and stay there for
Near
the
there,
night, and
yeah.
then the next morning I can drive to the airport.
The outlet was very interesting lah. What's the outlet called?
It's called Ingolstadt.
Ingolstadt, yeah,
Yeah.
it was not bad. The next day, in the morning, we just woke up, we drove to the airport, and then we had to like declare taxes. So we just flew back, and then when we touched down, we just had to take 1 PCR, and then 7 ART every single
Yeah,
day. So that is all of our trip. Oh my god, it's very long already. But we are going to answer some questions that you guys actually asked us lah. Okay, question number 1, did you all apply for the Swiss COVID pass for the QR, or did you all use the EU COVID pass? We used
The
the
EU
one.
COVID pass,
Booked
because
in Switzerland.
because I think it's a Schengen area, that's why.
Did you take the booster shot before going?
No.
No, we didn't. We came back and took it.
Yeah.
What are the must-go spots to include itinerary? Okay.
If you go to Switzerland, I think you have to go on one of the big cable cars. And Fierce is really very good. I think if you go to Munich, you have to go to Munich residence. Neuschwanstein also.
How much was the spending? I think we spent a total of 4.
Including shopping was like 15.
Yeah, 14 to 15.
Yeah, including flights, Airbnb, everything.
Everything.
Because I cooked a lot.
How do you plan your outfits usually? Basically, I just see like whatever winter clothes I have, then I just pair like with each other.
I try lah. I just take whatever I had in my luggage, which was a lot because guys' clothes very heavy.
Okay, where to shop for authentic luxury items? So personally, what we did there was to go to Ingolstadt.
We always go to outlet malls when we travel.
Is it worth it to rent a car? Yes, definitely. I think in Europe especially, right? You have to rent a car.
The autobahn, if you go to Germany, if you don't drive, it's like wasted.
Yeah, it definitely is because there are a lot of places that you cannot go. What were your payment modes?
Yeah, we use U-Trip a lot. Yeah.
I would say 99% accept.
I got use credit card lah, but there's like a bill.
How do you decide which areas to travel? So every time I see travel content on Instagram, I'll save like those pictures and stuff. I'll just look at the pictures that I save.
How I decide is I just go on Google Maps. So I love doing itineraries.
Do you have a rough breakdown of the spend?
3,000 plus for nights. The Airbnb was like 180 per night, around there. It's like another 2.5k maybe.
Yeah, then we spent I think about 1.5 on shopping. 1.7.
About 1 point something on shopping, yeah. And then there are a lot of like parking and food and groceries and that kind of thing.
So mainly then attractions will take the bulk of.
If you go to Switzerland, it will take the bulk. Yeah.
So we spent about like 7.8k around there on like all the miscellaneous.
So it's about
6.5 for like attractions, parking, eating,
petrol
and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, heard that food all comes with super X. Any tips to save money?
Of course, I think you can save if you take
use Airbnb. Yeah, honestly, it wasn't expensive.
Our
and
friend
don't go
took
for
hotel and it was expensive, I think. Food you need to cook.
Food, yeah, just cook.
Or you buy street food. The street food is quite good really.
We are going to Switzerland. Any tips in general? I think driving would be good.
By driving, I kena 2 flashes.
Oh yeah, speed camera.
Yeah, you need to be quite careful. In Switzerland, there's no autobahn, so.
Yeah, you have to spend because it's really quite expensive.
So
how much was the car rental? 1.3.
If you fly on SQ, there's this portal by SQ, it's called rental cars. And then you can get like better rates than you would on like the providers.
Packing essentials for winter Europe. Make sure you get heat tech.
Socks. I think underrated is the socks because I was freaking freezing in English garden.
And like good boots because it's very slippery. Any communication barriers during the trip? Actually yes, there is because the places that we went was like a bit more outskirts from the city. So a lot of people.
Some of them don't speak very well English, but they do.
They understand. They can't understand, but then they don't fully understand.
But their English quite good, you know, like especially in the city.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's all really.
That's all for our.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, this might be quite a long video. I hope you guys found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in our next video. Please do like, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss an upload. Bye guys!